Hello, sorry you had to hear that. My bag of threads was stuck under the wheel. And I was like, oh my god, I can't get it out. Hello! How are you? I'm just trying to pick a color for my sun, because we're going to do the sun today. And we're going to do that as a lovely color for a sun, I think. So we're going to do the padded satin stitch for this one. And that's the only stitch we're going to do today. And the reason for this is it's actually 2 stitches in one, because you have to fill it with chain stitch first, and then you have to satin stitch over top. Okay, so it's a 2-for-1 special today. Please don't hate me, because we've literally just done these 2 yesterday, but now we're going to combine them to make a humped up padded satin stitch. All right. Now, if you don't like chain stitch, you could do other stitches. Some people do like seed stitch underneath. I don't think it gives the adequate amount of padding, so I tend to do a chain stitch because it gives such a nice thick, like, underbelly. Right, so we're gonna do all 6 strands for both parts, and yeah, let's get started. If I can find the end of this, I will cut a bit and then we can do it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's Friday night. I've asked David to bring home a bottle of wine tonight from work, because although I did not have the kids today, I feel like all I did was just run around in circles and do nothing. Do you ever have days like that where you're just like, I've done absolutely nothing today? Oh, frustrated, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Right. I don't know if you've noticed, but your girl, me, has put all the videos so far onto YouTube. So they're all on there. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Can I break it up like the satin stitch from yesterday? I'm putting my final piece on a bag. Of course you can. You don't even have to use padded satin stitch if you don't want to. You could also sub the stitch for any of the other stitches that you want to. I just thought that the padding would look nice right in the middle. So if you really don't want to do that, you don't have to. The other thing that you could do is you could tack it down like the Bayou stitch. You can add these little things over top to kind of keep them in place so that these long stitches don't get wobbly. So it's completely up to you what you want to do. You could also sub it for like a split stitch or even like a stem stitch, something like that. Something that won't get snagged. Okay? So it's completely up to you how you want it to look. If you put these lines on top, it will break it up though. It won't look like one continuous, like smooth area. Do you know what I mean? It does, your eyes go towards the straight lines first. So just have a think about that. Okay? Okay, so for the padded satin stitch, first we have to do our under stitching, our under padding. So the way that I like to do this is you need to figure out which way you would like your stitches to go on the top. Okay, so do you want them to be straight down like this? Or do you want them to go straight across like this? Okay, both of them would look great. So what you can do, and what I often do, is you can kind of line them up like this and lay them down. Do you think this would look better? Up and down like that? Or do you think this would look better sideways like this? Okay, it's completely up to you which way you think it should go. Obviously, I went for sideways. I went for horizontal with mine, but you can do it the other way if you want to. And what we want to do, because we're doing the under stitching first, we have to do our under stitching the opposite direction that you want your top stitching to go. So if you want to have a horizontal top stitching, your under stitching needs to be up and down. So vertical. Okay. if you want to have a vertical top stitching, your under stitching should be horizontal. So it makes a grid like this. The reason is because if you have them next to each other, eventually the threads will settle and they'll kind of go together like this, and it will actually not be very padded at all. All right. You want it to be crisscrossed like this because these ones will always lie across each other like this. Right? They won't ever sink into each other. So something to think about. I'm going to do my final one sideways again. So my understitching is going to be up and down. And with this, we're going to do a chain stitch. Now, it doesn't have to be as tightly together as we did this one. They can be quite large. You can also do detached chain stitches if you want to and do them all over the place. But I'm just going to do a couple. They don't even have to be touching, really. So we're going to do these ones underneath first. It's all 6 strands. I like to use the same color that I'm actually going to do my top stitching with, because then if there is any kind of gaps in your stitching or anything like that, it will... Oh, I've gone through. That's why. Well, that is really annoying. I've gone through the knot. Just have to fish this out. Okay, I don't have the patience for that, so let's just carry on. Yeah, so I like to do the same color because if there's any gaps in my stitching, you won't be able to see them as much. So you can make these quite... Oh my gosh. Do I need to pick a different color? Because this cannot be a thing. I know exactly what it is, and I'm going to fix it right now. You are getting chopped off. Okay, let's try again. So like I said, it's really easy. Much better. Right, it's really easy to have the colors show through if they're a different color. So if you don't have a lot of your top color, then I would definitely pick a color that's super similar, just so that you don't have any like random color poking through. Okay? So again, just something to think about. And these don't have to be super, super close together. Make them close, but not like touching, because you're not going to see any of this. It's all going to get hidden. Some people use felt underneath here if they want it to be really quite humped up. You can use felt if you want to as well. But for this one, I'm just going to just do my regular chain stitch, space them out a little bit, and we want them to just be a little bit padded. That's it. This is kind of like the boring part. Like, you don't find it boring when you're doing it, but when you're doing it for a video, you're a bit like, oh my goodness, please just be finished. But it's nice to see that it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to make it, I mean, you're not going to see any of it. So it's just a nice thick stitch to put underneath your padding. obviously you can do other stitches. I know I've already mentioned seed stitch. Some people just like to do a satin stitch the other way, but I find that uses a lot of thread. So it's up to you. If you really don't like the chain stitch, you can always choose a different one. I wonder why this thread is so, like, open. Like, it's not very twisted. Let's try for this, just like 2 really long ones here and then 1 long one next to it. And that should be good for this side. And we'll go over and do the other side, and then we can do our satin stitch on top. And then that kind of concludes week 1. Like, we've done a whole week of stitching together. Can you believe that? Well, 5 days, but Saturday and Sunday are catch-up days. When I was an art teacher, my students used to love catch-up days because I made a big bottle of ketchup, like out of cardboard, and we always allotted for kind of 1 or 2 catch-up days, like per semester, because some days, like, kids were absent or whatever, and they needed to get all their points. So we would have these catch-up days, and it's obviously just a pun on catch up, you know, to like complete things that you haven't completed. But when they saw the big bottle of ketchup, they'd be like, "It's a catch-up day! Oh my goodness!" That's why I think middle school is like the most fun age to teach, because they're just like big little kids. Like, they're so young still. They're just like old. Doesn't matter if you go in the same direction when doing the padded satin stitch. As long as the stitches are perpendicular to the top stitch, it doesn't matter. So as you see, I'm working it up and down, up and down, up and down, but all my stitches are vertical like this because my top stitch is going to be horizontal. We just don't want to have stitches that are horizontal and horizontal, because then they can mesh into each other eventually. Is that what you meant? Oh no. Did you not come at the beginning of the video, Robin? I did explain it. Just an FYI, that's my mother, so I'm just playing, okay? I always say no question is a stupid question, and it's not, because you might have just missed it. So please, 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 if you have a question, please, please, please ask the question, because I would rather repeat myself than have someone do it wrong and feel frustrated at themselves, you know, that they quote unquote didn't do it right, and then not want to do it anymore. You know? I was here, but I missed that part. I'm sure I said it. Miles was doing like 1,000 kisses tonight, so that's why I was a bit late. So I do apologize. Hi, Sarah. We'll have to do a coffee date soon so that you can tell me all about your trip. It looked amazing. Okay, so now we're going to end up doing the top stitching over top. All right. The only thing I don't like is there's quite a big gap here. I feel like I just need to add something. Let me just do one big fat one. I just feel like this gap is quite large right on the edge. Okay, now we're going to do our satin stitch on top. And then that will be literally the end, okay? But do you see how it kind of comes off the fabric already? It's quite a thick stitch, the chain stitch. So now we're going to do our satin stitch on top. I've got all 6 strands. It's quite a big area, a big space. All right, I'm going to start mine kind of in the middle-ish. And then go up and then go down, or go down and go up, whichever I feel like. But the first stitch sets all of it. So what you want to do is try and make sure that it's where you want it to go. If you put it down like this, all of them are going to be in that same angle, you know? So you kind of want to have it like level with the horizon. You know what I mean? Just in general, have it a bit straight across. Take your time and make that first stitch, because if it's not quite right, you'll see it. You'll see it kind of. Your nails look cute. Thank you. I actually did them today. And then, because I haven't done my nails in so long. And if you know me, I used to do my nails all the time. But then the people that I got my nail stuff from, I think they went out of business. So I tried a new one and I don't like it as much. So I haven't done it in a while. So all we're doing right now is I'm doing the thread saver method, because as the sun goes up like this, it is staggered quite a bit. Whereas if you have a square or a rectangle and you have your stitches right next to each other, it's a very tiny, tiny space to go just right next door. But when you have it on an angle like this, I say angle, but it's actually like an arc. When you have it on an arc like this, it's a little bit more space, so it's easier to do the thread saver method without it looking really, really weird. But anyways, I used to do my nails all the time, and I actually had a bunch of codes for like money off or discounts or whatever, and it was super fun. But yeah, then one of them stopped sending to England, so that was not great. And then one of them completely went out of business. That was the second one I tried. And then this is the third one, because I've always done like the dip nails or gel. I've done the gel ones myself as well. But I don't really like the gel as much. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't really like it as much. And then I actually tried, what's the one that's like the eco gel? It's called something, but I tried that as well, and I got a couple colors of that, but I didn't really love it either. I think it's because I'm really hard on my nails. I'm like really, really hard on them, so like the dip, like the dip powder stuff was like really ideal, but it really makes a difference where you get your liquids from. So these ones are the dip powder ones, and again, I don't love it. Like, I did it this afternoon, and I've already got a chip at the very tip of my nail right there that I've had to file down. And then also on this one, I think it's because I have soft nails. After pregnancy, my nails were like, we're done. We're finished. We don't want to do it anymore. So if you noticed, I haven't really done them lately. But yeah, this other place I tried, like, it's okay. It's alright. But it's not as good. I feel like they chip really easy. I'm not going to say what the company is because I don't like that. But look at that. How nice is that arch? I feel like I could do one more. Don't mess it up. I might have messed it up. How nice is that? Love. Right, it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. All right, so let's try doing the bottom part, and we'll be done. But yeah, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll just go get my nails done. Sorry, I'm still on the nails thing. But then I'm going to go to the States in the summer in like 4 weeks. And I thought, well, if I get my nails done, then I'm going to have to either continue to get them done while I'm there or take them off. And then you get that like weird, you know, like when you take them off, sometimes they just look a bit haggard. So I decided to just try again and do it myself. What is that Eco Gel one? It comes with its own lamp. It's in a box. Like green something. I'm just so hard on my nails. Like dishes, laundry, stitching, like playing, cleaning up. Like, I think it doesn't help that they're like my nails are quite soft and bendy. I'm sure that's like some kind of nutrient deficit from having children. But it is what it is, do you know what I mean? And yes, I do take biotin in a pill though. And I've just started taking collagen as well. So maybe that'll help. Maybe it'll help my little nails. How lovely is that looking? Right. And then through here as well, if you wanted to, you can switch colors. You don't have to keep the same color all the way down. You could do like little one strand of a little bit darker yellow or a little bit lighter orange, something like that. And you could do a little like ombre situation, you know, where the colors blend together. Ombre. I sound like I'm trying to speak Spanish or something. Like I'm like ombre. But I'm not. I just made a blending of colors, okay? Oh man, am I gonna have enough? I don't think I'm gonna have enough, guys. Thread chicken, you got me. You win. You win. All right, I've got to get, because look, that's what we don't want. I do not want to see any of your little threads poking out like that, okay? I also don't want to see any of the threads poking out the side. So you got to cover them up all the way, all right? All right, let's try and tie this off, and then we will continue because I can't leave you hanging with that. And then that's it. So your homework for this weekend is literally just to do a bit of stitching, fill in any bits that you haven't done yet, but also don't stress out if you're like, oh my god, I can't finish this. Like, I have no time this weekend. I'm really booked this weekend. Like, I want to spend time with my family. I don't want to do stitching. Then don't, okay? It's fine. It's fine. You can always do it next week or the week after. And since so far all the videos are up now, okay? Fingers crossed. I almost don't want to say it out loud. You know, like when your baby sleeps through the night and someone's like, how's your baby sleeping? And you're like, shut up, Sharon. You know, we don't talk about that. And you're like, I don't want to say. That's how I feel about my Instagram videos downloading. Because I feel like if I talk about it, then they're going to stop downloading again. But they're all on Instagram or YouTube so far. So, oh, rats. It's falling out. So if you want to go watch there, you can. I'm going to do one more. Just like a little bit in the bottom of this wave right here. Now we are going to fill in this right here. So don't worry about this side being a little bit lower or whatever. You know, it has to be because it dips down. All right. I feel like I might want to do one more like here. I'm just putting it right below, I think. Bum, 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 bum. Look at that. Run your needle through it if you need to. Okay. If you don't need to, then don't. I'm just going to tie that off. And then go drink my wine. Right, so that's what we've got. And you can see that it's more off the fabric. Obviously, it's not going to be like boom off. You know what I mean? But compared to the more flat stitches, it will be more humped up. Okay? So there you go. We've got padded satin stitch. So I think we've learned 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches this week. 11 if you count padded satin stitch. And then next week, we'll finish the rest. Okay, so do your best. Tag me in your progress pictures. I'd love to see them. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer. All right, so I'll see you on Monday around 8:15. Bye. Have a great weekend.